We are here, everyone. How are y'all doing tonight? I'm just going to play some Feeding the Ducks and we will get to it. The mini movie part of the title is courtesy of my girl, Self Love Yourself. Thank you, boo. Well, hello, everyone. I hope y'all are having a great evening. I wanted to come and bring y'all this presentation actually like in a nature type area, but for some reason, StreamYard has been acting all about. It's just been going on and off. I was actually trying to look at a video earlier and it was a lot of buffering. It was a little bit frustrating outside of your home internet. So I just said I was going to come and do this peacefully at home. Okay, we are team. See, look at that. My loss. We are team comprehension. Okay, yes, and we are going to have fun with it as we get into our reading of E. Lynn Harris, No One in the World. We are on chapter 8, and I gotta say, our breath has been taken away by what has occurred already throughout the 7 chapters that we have already read and listened to. I have my little book outliner here just in case it's some things that we need to note down. Please let me know if y'all can hear me clearly and if anything is too loud. We're going to be playing into this mini movie. I'm going to just try to bring out my lucky foot and shake it all about. Oh, hello, myself. Love yourself, baby. We are getting into it. I got a slight bit of coffee. I stated I was to myself that I was going to be doing this around 8ish. I didn't want to keep y'all all night. And I wanted to start at a decent time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead into chapter 8. Chapter 8 is a little lengthy as well. So this should be fun. Here we go. The next day, during my lunch break, I sat in front of a desk at the True Home Adoption Agency. I was waiting on Miss Ames, the large, well-made-up woman with a bright smile. I had spoken to her moments ago, and she had gone to look up some information for me. I told her I had come with the intention of finding my brother. I also felt compelled to tell her about the recent death of my parents and how much I miss them. That Was your family? Miss Ames said. The hair product people? Yes. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your father was a great man. Thank you. I know, I said. Do you think you'll be able to help me find my brother? I truly hope so. Do you know his name? Miss Ames said, her eyes smiling synthetically behind her stylish eyeglass frames. I don't, but I have this, I said, digging my adoption certificate out of my briefcase and presenting it to her. She read it. Look up at me. This was your name before it was changed. Yes, Everett Reed. I felt strangely outside myself. Have you seen or spoken to your brother since you were separated? I haven't. Okay, Miss Ames said, standing from her desk. All the information I should need is on this certificate. I'll be right back. 10 minutes later, Miss Ames returned with a manila folder. She sat down behind her desk with a smile and opened the file. That's right, self love yourself. I'm ready. I'm ready. Did you find something? I asked hopefully. Your brother's name is Eric. Eric Reed. Or Eric? Okay, I said softly, feeling a smile appear on my face. Where is he? Miss Ames chuckled. I wish it were that simple, Mr. Winslow. But we don't keep track of the children after they leave us. So there's no way we would know where he is now. Can you at least tell me the name of the family that adopted him? Legally, I wouldn't be able to release that information to you if he had been adopted, but he wasn't. What do you mean he wasn't adopted? Where did he go? If a child is not adopted by his or her 10th birthday here at True Home, they automatically go into the foster care system, Miss Ames said, the smile no longer on her face. Foster care, I said, feeling badly, knowing that when I was Eric's age, complaining about my father never being home, my brother was living with strangers in foster care. Can you please give me any information you have on the foster care system and the contact numbers of anyone who might have an idea of where my brother may be? Yes, of course, Mr. Winslow, Miss Ames said. After work, I stood in one of the foster care offices downtown, looking for answers regarding my brother. Shakim, what's up, bro? Shakim, we have us a quite interesting reading of this book called No One in the World. I think you would like it too. After work, I stood in one of the foster care offices downtown looking for answers regarding my brother. I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have that information to give you. A thin, overworked woman wearing a slightly wrinkled dress, said, "This is very important," I said, feeling as though I was on the verge of losing my patience. "You don't have it to give to me, or you won't give it to me." We purged all records of individuals who have been out of our system for 10 years. "I'm sorry, sir." I stood there staring at her, anger boiling in me. I calmed down enough to say, "Is there any information you can give me? Anything at all?" "I'm sorry," the woman said, looking at me with concern, as if expecting me to go off, run around, and start flipping tables over. "All I can do is suggest you write the Social Security Administration or go online and maybe check the phone book for all the Eric Reeds you can find." I'm going to say this, y'all. Now, this is just my opinion, but I feel, because I see that this is Kobe. Kobe just seems a little, well, I, with everything that has happened, with his parents passing, that it's just bad. So that's probably why he's in this eager mode. But I do feel that he is a little spoiled on a level. Maybe I'm thinking about my own situation, because at least, I'm like, at least you were able to get your brother's name. That would have been something that just, it did put a smile on his face, which was great. But, I myself, it would take me a long time just to figure out what my father's name is. So I just feel like he has a lot of options. I think just having that name could just make him feel more alive inside. Sometimes you have to think about others and just how not easy certain information is to get. But I understand, and I do have sympathy, because this man did just lose his mother and father that, I'll say loved on him, but he did state how he felt about his brother, and how his brother was in foster care versus him being adopted. So I just say this story continues to turn, but I am happy to see that he had a smile on his face knowing his brother's name. Hey, Sassy. What's up, baby? We have us a good read on tonight. So let's continue, you guys. That evening, I came home. Did y'all want music? I'll try it for this chapter, and y'all let me know if this music is in the way. Here we go. This is just a little low-fi beat. I thought it might kind of bring out the book a little. Okay. That evening, I came home and parked behind Sissy's BMW 750, which meant she was visiting. I had spent much of the day trying to get information about where my brother Eric might have been, and wound up with nothing. Seeing my sister would make me feel better. I walked in the front door of the 8-bedroom mansion I had lived in all my life and now owned. It was built in 1912. The ceilings were 24 feet high. The walls were a warm medium brown wood, and the floors were a beautiful dark cherry color. Every room was decorated with expensive leather and upholstered authentic furniture with orient carvings. An iron chandelier hung high in the living room. After I closed the door, I was met by Stella, our housekeeper of 25 years. She was a woman in her early 60s with flawless skin and graying hair that always brushed and pinned back. She was like a second mother to me. Hmm. Evening, Mr. Winslow, Stella said, taking my briefcase as she always did. How was your day? Horrible. I hope yours was better. Despite our challenges, every day is a blessing, more beautiful than the last. I looked at Stella a moment, hugged her, and kissed her on the cheek. You've always had a way of putting things in perspective. Thank you. I just wished it worked this time, I said, walking toward the stairs. Where is my sister? I'll give you one guess. My father's study, I said, climbing the first stair of the long curved stairway. Shall I bring your dinner up to you, or will you take it down here? Stella asked. I'll come back for it. Thank you, Stella. As the door to my father's study, At the door to my father's study, I knocked. Come in, I heard my sister say. I entered to find Sissy with her back to me, watching the wall mounted flat screen that displayed financial news. The new president was taken. Oh, I'm sorry. The new president has taken office, I said, losing my tie. Let me know, you guys, if that music is a little bit too loud. I think it is. Let me turn it down. Okay. The new president has taken office, I said, loosening my tie. Sissy turned, her arms crossed over her chest. Interim president, Sissy said, sounding offended. Don't worry, I said. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. The position will be yours. They know it belongs to no one else. Thank you. But that is based solely on my performance in this situation. I stood to I spoke to one of our brokers again today, and Procter and Gamble has brought more of our shares. What? I said. Is there really a chance of them taking us over? Sissy said in her most calming voice. Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of it. You know that. Rattled, I walked over to the bar to pour myself a quick shot of scotch. I lowered myself into one of the two leather chairs in front of my father's desk. I took a sip of my drink. So, exactly how are you taking care of it? We need your shares to help ensure that no one can come in and take over Winslow. Doesn't the will say I have to get married? How are we get you married? Yeah, right, I laughed. Sissy's face was stone. I'm not joking. There is no other way. You marry, or the shares will be given to me in 2 years on my 34th birthday. By then, it may be too late. Winslow Corporation might already belong to someone else. Is that what you want? Of course not. Then you'll simply have to marry to save the company. Fine. What guy do you have in mind? I said, trying to lighten the mood. This is serious, Kobe. I've been thinking about women high in Chicago society, and although I haven't approached any of them yet, Sissy, I was joking, I said, standing. This is my life, my future we're talking about. I'm not just going to give it up to save daddy's company, to save our way of life. Everything he worked so hard for over the years. Sissy walked over, stood right in front of me. If this company is taken from us, no, we probably won't go hungry, but do you really want that to happen? To lose Winslow the moment daddy dies? When he and granddaddy managed to keep it for 50 years. Sissy was 2 inches shorter than me, but with her heels on, she was staring me directly in the eyes. What has he ever done for me? I said under my breath, still burning from him withholding the knowledge of my brother, other than condemn me for being gay. What did you say? Sissy said, shocked in her voice. I didn't respond, just turned away from her. No, Sissy said, stepping in front of me. You know what he's done. He worked till his death, trying to maintain a company that provided for his wife and children. Children that he adopted, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. I'm sorry he didn't accept your way of life. And whether you believe it or not, he did love you and provided for you as he did me. Now, if that's not good enough for you and you don't want to help me try to save this company, then tell me now and I'll find another method. Sissy had a point. I was being selfish, letting my anger potentially decide the future of the company. Would I feel as though I gained some form of retribution for my father by allowing us to lose it? Would it be worth my sister losing her job as well as all the other Winslow employees? And what about all the great things the company did in our community? All that would just disappear because I was still angry with my deceased father. This is something I have to think about. Would you at least allow time to do that? Yes, but we're on a deadline, remember? You turn 34 in less than a month. Feeling burdened, I downed the rest of my scotch. Is there anything else? Actually, Kobe, there is. What is it? I said, not liking the grave tone of my sister's voice. A young man visited me today. He said he was doing a college internship at the DA's office. Do you know a 20-year-old by the name of Kendrick Dustin Wilshire? I felt myself becoming lightheaded. I reached for something to hold on to, then answered, yes, I know who you're talking about. The moment he walked into my office at the beginning of his semester, I knew he was trouble. He was handsome, tall, well built, had green eyes, and played football. Immediately, I was attracted to him, but I was smart enough to leave that jailbait alone. There were already enough city and state officials in the news catch up in some kind of caught up in some kind of sexual scandal. But Kendrick kept placing himself close to me whenever he could. He kept saying how much he envied me, how he wanted to have a law career just like mine. Mm. One late evening, when we were in the office alone, Kendrick asked if I liked men. I told him no. Hey, my real mama Fifi. Hey, baby. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry about the music in the background, y'all. That's the neighbors. Oh, there they go. Okay, where are we? One late evening, when we were in the office alone, Kendrick asked if I liked men. I told him no. He looked at me with those green eyes, ran a moist tongue over those pink lips, and seductively asked if I could possibly like him. I reminded him that I said I didn't like men and told him our relationship was strictly mentor mentee and it would have to stay that way. Obvi- I can't say it. Obviously, used to getting whatever he wanted, Kendrick lunged in and kissed me full force on the lips. I pushed my palms into his chest, breaking him off. Oh, hold on. Backing him off. Why did you do that? Kendrick asked. Because I don't play with boys. And if I did, it wouldn't be with the ones that work under me, I said. Now get your things. You're done for the day. The next day, I got rid of him. I never saw him again, I told Sissy. Well, he's threatening to go to whomever willing to listen, including your boss, saying you harassed him for sex. And when he didn't give in, you terminated his internship. I shook my head, feeling myself anger. Feeling myself anger. He's going to do that unless we do what? I know that's more to I know there's more to this than him just feeling wronged because he wasn't. I know he wasn't, Kobe. He's asking for money. No. Hell no, I said. Let him take the press, the AG, the mayor of I don't the mayor for all I care, but we aren't giving him a red cent. I've done nothing wrong. Kobe, Sissy said, I'll handle this. And no, I have no intentions of paying this clown because he delivers an idle threat, at least until I hear all he has to say. This is my reputation, Sissy. Once one M Once one mofo takes advantage of me, the floodgates open. Then every cute boy I pass on the streets is saying, I felt him up, wanting a payoff. You can't let that happen. Like I said, I want to take to this Kendrick Dustin Winshire first, but I promise you, I'll stop this. Whew. Y'all, that is quite a bit that is going on in this book. Kareem, what's up, boo? Old ho trolling. Y'all, I think is y'all please let me know if this level of music is a little too much. If y'all want something that's just a tad bit lower. Oh, so Kareem, you said I remember reading books like Jive, Bronze thrill. Oh, really? That sounds like it's probably pretty cool, Kareem. Oh, Roro, I want to buy you a cup of coffee tomorrow. Oh, thank you, boo. I appreciate it. Oh, you said the music was perfect to me. Oh, okay then. Y'all, I'm glad to hear that. So, y'all, I gotta say, this is every chapter so far is just blowing me away. It's too much. I don't know if I. Okay, so the most worst tragedy. They, your mother and your father has passed. Now they are on a. Well, Kobe is on a path. He's trying to find his brother now, and now he has a guy that was pushing up on him that is trying to create a sexual harassment case. This is just too much for your mother and father that has just passed. And you're just dibbling dabbling. You're going through all of this. You could lose the company. It's quite a bit. Oh, okay, boo. I'll put it in the chat. I appreciate you, boo. I just don't know, y'all. I mean, if to be in their shoes, it's just, oh, I need to slow down on this book. I think I read that chapter a little bit too quick because it was just a lot for me to handle. So I know for these two, I'll say Sissy, I think she's holding up a little better, but she's dealing with a lot too. I mean, you're here, you just lost your mother and father, and I see it's a lot of pressure on you. And now you're trying to handle a sexual harassment case for your brother. On top of that, you are trying to keep this company, and you're depending on your brother to take the place of the company, and he's a lawyer. He didn't take the path of working with the company because he has a disdain for his late father. What a rush. Lewis, hello, Lewis. You said the little I heard sounds like a Edlin Harris novel. You know it, Lewis. Ain't nothing but a Edlin Harris. Yes. You hit it right on the noggin. Oh, old ho trolling. You said I'm going to go back and listen again. Okay, boo. Yeah, old ho trolling. It was this chapter. It was just a lot of fisticuffs going on. So yeah, y'all, this next chapter I'm going to just get that patience going on, get the comprehension, because yeah, that one was stirring the pot for sure. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead to chapter 9. I sat in my office at work, thinking about how it was now just 25 days until my birthday. Sissy's idea to save the company still rang in my head. Part of it made sense, but did I really want to enter into a relationship, a marriage, no less, based on lies? I would be lying to myself, to everyone that knew me, not to mention the poor woman, whoever she may be. What about what I wanted? I had always told myself that when I did get married or devoted myself to a life partner, it would be with a man I truly loved. Marrying a woman I didn't even know wasn't quite what I had in mind. And then there was the situation with Kendrick Wilshire, that dirty little lying scoundrel. I declared my head of that. I cleared my head of that for the moment, trusting that Sissy would take care of it. I reached I reached into the bottom drawer of my desk and pulled out the huge book of white pages. Over the past 14 days, I had already drawn lines through half a dozen Eric reads, confirming that none of them was my brother. But there were still at least another dozen to call in this city alone. I didn't want to think of how many there were left in the rest of the country. Pressing a finger to the next phone listing, I picked up my office phone and dialed the number. I got a recording informing me that the number was no longer in service. I drew a line through that name and dialed the next number. Hello, I said, after a woman picked up the phone. May I speak with Eric Reed, please? I said, hoping his name hadn't been changed as mine had been. Who's calling? My name is, I stopped myself. My name is Everett Reed, I said, using my pre-adopted name. May I ask? May I ask why you're calling, Mr. Reed? I swallowed hard. I had a brother named Eric, but I haven't seen him in 30 years. I'm trying to find him and my husband does my husband doesn't have a brother. There's a chance he wouldn't have known about me. Can I please speak to him? I'm sorry, Mr. Reed, but Eric has been dead a year now. Car accident, the woman said, her voice lowered. I'm so sorry, I said. I really don't mean to bother you, but can I please ask you a few questions? Just so I'll know. Yes. Eric was my twin. I've been turning 30. I'll be turning 34 in 3 weeks. My Eric was 40, the woman said. Oh, I said, feeling as though my brother would be lost forever. I hope you find him, Mr. Reed. Goodbye. Oh, Corinne, you said Dapper. Sharon Dapper is Mount. Oh, is my daughter's favorite author. Oh, okay now. Yeah, y'all. So, he's still looking for his brother. After work, I was exhausted. I went home, took a nap on my living room sofa, and awakened half an hour later to the ringing of my home phone. I had been dreaming about my childhood again, something that seemed to happen now each and every time I closed my eyes. In the dream, I was 16. It was not long after my father had found me and the boy Steve in the garage. Since that day, it seemed my father had very little to say to me. He gave me instructions when he needed to, he gave me instructions when he needed to, like, make sure you've packed for tomorrow's trip, but simple everyday conversation between a father and son was no longer there. Because all I wanted was the love of my father, I did what he told me to do. I had stopped seeing Steve and did the same with all the other boys I called friends at school. I had little interest in girls, and besides my sister, I was basically alone. I could not be with I could not be who I really was. And despite how much I tried to be what my father wanted, he would never accept me as that person either. I was damned I was damned either way. The dream shifted to a memory of me pushing through my parents' door and gently shaking my mother till she awakened. Baby, what's wrong? She asked. I stood there in the dark room, tears rolling down my cheeks. I, I, I wasn't able to speak. My mother hurried out of bed, wrapped her arms around me. My father didn't wake, didn't budge. She walked me down the hallway to my bedroom, sympathy in her eyes. She begged, tell me what's wrong, please. I don't. I don't know if I can do it anymore, I said, sniffing. Nobody understands. Nobody cares. Don't know if you can do what, Kobe? Nobody understands what? Me, Ma. Me. And I don't know if I can live. My mother leaned away from me as if wondering who this strange boy was. Then she noticed what I had in my fists. Her eyes focused on the orange plastic bottle with the child-proof cap. She snatched it from my grasp. Kobe, what are you doing with these? They were her sleeping pills. I didn't answer, just kept crying. She scanned my room and saw the tall glass filled halfway with water. She quickly put two and two together. Her eyes ballooned. No, you didn't. I hadn't. But 5 minutes earlier, I had been on the verge. I was scared and lonely and felt as though no one really understood me. But my mother had always been open and honest with me. I thought the least I could do with her, I thought the least I could do was tell her what I was considering before I actually went through with it. She shook me out of my thoughts. Did you take any of these? Answer me. No, Ma, I didn't. I cried. She threw the bottle of pills across the room and yanked me close to her. Fully awoke now, I stood up and picked up the phone. Hello? I'm at the gate. Buzz me in. A deep, throaty voice said. What are you doing here? I asked. I was in the neighborhood. I tried calling your cell a few times before coming over. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried calling your cell a few times before coming over. You didn't answer. Were you asleep? Is this a bad time? I can come back. No, no, I wasn't asleep, I lied, wiping sleep out of my eyes. I triggered the gate out front. When I opened the door, Tyler stood before me, wearing a gray pinstripe suit. He hugged me. When I opened the door, Tyler and I met a year ago at a 100 black men social downtown. I was standing near the bar holding a beer when he walked up. Kobe Winslow, right? State's attorney and Hearn to the Winslow Hair Care fortune. My name is Tyler Hayden Stevens, he said, extending a hand. State Senator of Illinois. I looked down at his hand, saw the Rolex meal gas peeking out from under his cuff, and then the platinum wedding band on his finger. Pleasure to meet you, I said. And to what do I owe this pleasure? I was watching you since you walked in the place. Just thought I'd come over and say hi. Are you a stalker? On the way home, should I be worried that you'll look into my rear view and see you following me? Oh, I'm going to read that again, y'all. Are you a stalker? On the way home, should I be worried that I'll look into my rear view and see you following me? Only if you want me to, Tyler said with that dapper smile. Say that you want me to. You're married, I said. I am. Wouldn't that be a problem? Only if you made it one. Will you make it one? I blushed a little. Not at first, but I need to let you know up front. I'm going to want more than what you're looking for. What do you think I'm looking for? Wild, sweaty, no strings attached sex with a handsome man. Yep, Tyler said, showing a beautiful smile again. That's what I'm looking for. I closed my front door and walked back into my living room. How are you? Tyler asked. I'm managing, but it's rough, you know. I still expect mom to step into the room and ask me if I'm hungry or walk in on dad up in his study. I'm sorry about that. Me too. Have you found out any more about your brother? He asked. Mater- ma- what's that word? Manerically, manericful. I'm sorry, y'all. Manericful, changing the subject. I have to look that up. I mailed a letter off to the Social Security Administration yesterday, like the lady said. You're going to get through this. Tyler had a seat on the sofa. And like I said, you know I'm here for you. Are you? Kobe. Tyler shook his head as though he didn't want to start this discussion. I told you, I've been having nightmares. If I wake up at 2 in the morning and wanted to call you or come over, could I? You know you can't. I have a wife and children. You know that. Yes, I do. You have a wife and children. You don't have time for this. For me. Don't say that. I've been doing this a year. I told you when we first met, this wasn't what I was looking for. I said. I know. When my father was alive, I had an excuse for not seeing you as often as I wanted. But now he's gone, and I want someone who can be here for me. I'll do better. Will you? I will. I promise. I need for you to be telling me the truth, for you to be serious about this. I am, and I will, Tyler said, pulling me to him. I'm so sorry about everything that happened. It's not your fault. I know. I just missed you. I miss you too. But I need for you to keep your promise. And Tyler leaned in to kiss me softly on the lips. He was about to pull away, and I wrapped my arms around him, kept him there, only then realizing just how much I missed him. After our kiss, Tyler said, "It's been too long. I want you." I laughed sadly. If you knew how much I wanted you to, but I'm worn out. It would be a waste of 2 minutes. Don't worry, I'll do all the work, Tyler said, pressing his hand into my chest and pulling me back onto the sofa. You need to take it easy anyway, he said, lowering himself to his knees. Oh my God. Spreading my thighs and moving between them. All I want to do is relax, okay? Okay, I said, laying my head back, closing my eyes, and taking this time to forget all that plagued me. Whoa. Y'all. Well, the hits continue to happen. So we just found out that Kobe is dealing with a married man on top of trying to find his brother. His mother and father have passed, and you can tell that he has a lot of anxiety coming from his father's death and his mother's death. They are still heavy on his heart. So I hope all they did was just sleep with each other because there's just too much going on in his head. This is a lot. And then you have it's just so you have this in the back of your head that your father is you in order for him to take this next chapter of doing right by his family, he has to marry a woman. So he can't live in his truth. This story right here, y'all. It's this is crazy. And then you got this man that is basically trying to get you. He has a man that's trying to get him. It's crazy. And your sister said she's gonna deal with that, but it's wow. I'll say this. Let Kobe and Sissy have a guardian angel. They gotta have that guardian angel to be going through these steps in life. This book needs to settle down. All right, y'all, let's get into chapter 10. 2 days later, halfway through reading the sport, halfway through reading the sport, the sports, why can't I speak? The sport, what? Sports. The sports section. I heard the front door open. My sister called out, "Anyone home?" "In the family room, sis." She walked in wearing a suit and carrying her briefcase. She set the case down at the door, walked over, and lowered herself on the sofa next to me. I could tell by the blank, sad stare on her face that she had bad news. "We have to pay off Kendrick Winshire, Kobe." I shot up from that sofa, waving my hand hysterically. "No, no." I shook my head. "I told you no. I did nothing wrong. And for us to lie down and take this from that little lying manipulative, little lying oh no, I can't, manip, manipulative, mofo. It's not going to happen." "Okay, Kobe," Sissy said, her voice very low and calm. "What do you think will happen if we don't pay him?" I paused for a moment, having not thought that far into the potential dark future. "I'll file charges against him for blackmail." "Okay, I'll play," Sissy said. "So do you have any proof that you didn't sexually harass him? Does he have proof that I did? Does he need it? Or will the accusation be enough to have people suspecting that you're gay? Something that you had not admitted. But worse, it would have people questioning whether you are an at-work sexual predator. Then what happens to your future to one day be Attorney General?" My sister stood and took me by my elbow. "I know this stinks, and if karma is really real, that little fucker will pay dearly at some point in his pathetic life. But for now, let's just save ourselves the anguish of it all and pay the fool the $50,000 he's asking for. I'll have a confidential agreement drawn up protecting you from any more of his bullshit." "Fine," I said, agreeing but still not wanting to. "But he comes to us and I'm the one handing him the check." Oh, hold on, let me. "But he comes to us and I'm the one handing him the check. Understand?" "As you wish," Sissy said. 2 days later, Kendrick Destin Winshire walked on crutches into my sister's office at Winslow Corporate, wearing a jacket and tie, like he was about to be picked for the NFL draft. That would never happen because he was wearing a knee-to-toe cast protecting, as I had read on ESPN.com, a career-ending injury. I guess Sissy was right. The karma was not only real, but swift. Beside him stood his attorney, a woman named Lilith Banner. Coincidentally, she had been a year below me in law school. She now worked for a small firm out of Orland Park. She had she had a copy of the confidentiality agreement we had sent to her office. She acted as though she didn't know me. I played along. Lilith set the contract on Sissy's desk. Kendrick hobbled over on his crutches. Lilith pulled a pen from her suit jacket pocket, gave it to Kendrick, and instructed him to sign. Where to sign? He glanced up at me with what I once thought were eyes the color of the beautiful green sea, but now looked like the color of infant diarrhea. He signed the page, gave the pen back to Lilith, and rose up, smiling. Mr. Winslow, Lilith said. I walked over while Kendrick stumbled his crippled butt over his crippled butt out of the way and signed the contract as well. Excellent, Sissy said in an overly cheery voice. She grabbed the cashier's check that had been made out to Kendrick for $50K and gave it to me. I stepped up to Kendrick, leaving not a foot between us. He beamed, anxiously excited about his paycheck. I gave him the check, then held out my hand. He took it, and we shook. Sorry about your injury, I said. You would have gone high in the draft, maybe even number one. It's okay, Kendrick said confidently. Kendrick said, confident. I still got the legal profession. With a vengeful smile, I said, I hope you don't intend to practice here or anywhere. Oh, God, no. I hope you don't intend to practice here or anywhere else in the country. I put the word out about you. Have a nice time trying to find a job. Okay, y'all. So that was chapter 10. So, at least I'll say that our main character, Kobe, as well as his sister, have gotten a stone, I'll say, unleashed, a stone cast away. I'll say that because I do feel that this guy, Kendrick, could have been a lot of trouble. I kind of was thinking that they had did something to the contract, but I guess not. I guess he just went on and got his money. But as we see, there are certain motions of karma within this book as well. Kendrick has actually hurt himself. That was a career-ending injury. So, $50K probably isn't going to do him too much. But yeah, this book is going a lot of places, but hopefully that will definitely die down their troubles, because that was just a lot to go through. But now we see Kobe seems to be dealing with a man that he could fall in love with, or maybe already is in love with. because he did just say that he didn't realize just how much she missed him. And this man is married with children. So he has no means of leaving his life behind. This is this man's invisible life. What a story. Hazel, hey boo. Hey my baby, I hope you are doing well, Hazel. I appreciate you. Yeah, dear, we are just over here getting into this book. Okay, this book is called No One in the World. And I see exactly why. I'm starting to see more and more why this book is called No One in the World. Because what this guy's going through and his sister, whew, this ain't no one in the world. Okay, but their story. Ooh, but yo, I gotta say this story. So let's see. I think I'm going to go up to chapter 12 tonight. Yeah, I think we're gonna hit chapter 12 because we are feeling it today. Yes, we are. Let me drink a little bit of water. We got our music. Ooh, we got our StreamYard working. Oh, I know StreamYard has been playing a little bit of games. So, all right, let's see what we got. Chapter 11. Over the past 3 weeks, I have devoted almost all of my attention to finding Eric. I had been checking the mailbox every day for any information from the Social Security Administration. Nothing. I had been on the internet night and day searching for any clues. I had even been actively searching obituaries. It seemed like a hopeless cause. Last night, I told my sister what I had been doing. She was appalled. You don't even know this man. What if he's crazy? Or worse, what if he's poor? My sister said, pacing back and forth in front of me. You're part of Winslow Products. What do you think it would look like for you to have a homeless brother living on the streets? Who said he was homeless? He could have accomplished what I have. He could have been a physician, the head doctor at some hospital somewhere, maybe a teacher or something. Kobe, just drop it, please. We have other much more important things to care about, to take care of, like finding you a wife. How's it going? I said, still not certain if what Sissy was suggesting was the right way to go. I found someone in serious financial need. I heard she's not quite as cultured as many of the society women I know, but she might have to do. You know, oh, you know Pyra Parks, formerly Pyra Parks Frazier, married to Winston. What's that? Wallace. Winston Wallace Frazier, the investor that swindled all that money. Yes, the one they called the Black Bernie Manoff. She's the one. But I thought they were very well off. They were, till the feds came and took all of their money and threw Frazier in prison. The poor woman is lucky she didn't go too. Now she's broke and looking for someone to save her. The meeting is tomorrow. Let's hope that someone is you, Kobe. Let's hope that someone is you, Kobe. The next day, I was trying to appear as though I was not staring at Pyra Parks as she sat in my living room across from Sissy. Pyra was much more attractive than the pictures I had seen of her in the newspapers and tabloids. Her hair was long and parted down the middle. She had a small mouth, big eyes, and wore a diamond stud in her nose. She wore a dark dress as if just coming from a funeral. She sat with her hands clasped in her laps, listening to my sister. No one can know that this marriage has been arranged. You will be free to divorce. You will be free to divorce. Ooh, I can't speak. To the to de, Devoid. Ooh, you will be free to divorce only after 2 years, and you must live here in the Winslow, Chicago residence for the duration of your marriage. Sissy said. Any questions? Pyra Parks glanced at me. I quick I quickly looked down at my hands. This was the most ridiculous idea I had ever heard. You said there would be financial compensation, Pyra asked. Yes, Sissy said. $250,000 annually, plus room and board. All your expenses would be taken care of, to include a car if you need one. So the full 500,000 would be yours to do with as you please. Pyra chuckled a little as she sat up in her chair. I thought I heard something about his inheritance being $20 million. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, miss, but you're going to have to do a little better than that. I wanted to laugh at how shocked my sister looked. Really? Mrs. Frazier, all you will be doing is lying about all you will be doing is lying around here collecting a check. No, sweetheart, there won't be much lying around, considering your brother over there is gay. And didn't you say something about me not being able to see other men? No, you can't. No, you can't see other men, Sissy said. How would that look if you got caught? How would it look if you caught me jacking off on a vibrator every night? A woman has her needs, and the dick is one of mine. Pyra, Pyra said with a snap of her fingers. She stood, grabbed her purse, and straightened her dress. She walked over to me and held out her hand. I'm sorry that I can't be the one, Mr. Winslow. I was smiling, almost laughing. Me too. But I appreciate you coming out. Is there anything you need for your time and trouble? No, I'm fine. But thank you. Still holding on to Pyra's hand, I added, I trust this will remain between those in this room. After what I went through with my After what I went through with my husband, having my business put out in the streets for all to hear, I would never think of doing that to another human being. Your secret is safe with me, honey. I walked Pyra Parks to her car. When I stepped back in the house, Sissy was standing in the middle of Sissy was standing in the middle of the room, her arms folded, looking betrayed. I guess that gets me off the hook. Don't even think about it. We have approximately 3 weeks left till your birthday. You're getting married by then, Sissy said, grabbing her keys off the end table. She headed towards the door and stopped and turned around. There's another person I'll be considering. I promise I'll thoroughly vet her. Whew, wow. Y'all, so that just happened. I'm going to get through chapter 12 and then we're going to have our discussion. And I guess we'll be wrapping things up in this good old mini movie. Chapter 12. It was early. The sun was out, and it was going to be a beautiful day. But for Aus- but for Austin Melrose Greer, it was already starting horribly. Austin had jet black hair, brushed back in a ponytail, and beautiful, flawless Hershey kiss colored skin. Her eyes were almond shaped, and her lips were the shade of rose petals. Austin pulled the key out of her car's ignition and exhaled deeply as she sat behind the steering wheel. She had loved this car. It was a 2008 Jaguar XJ8. It was silver with dark gray interior. She had found the car in late 2007. It had just hit the dealership, and the housing business had still been great to her. As a realtor, she had heard grumblings about awful things to come in the market. But like so many of her friends in the business, she ignored those warnings. At that at the time, Austin was still selling downtown Chicago properties as fast as she could list them. But not 3 months into 2008, things started to change drastically. There were there was talk, then evidence of a recession. People stopped buying houses. Then houses started to go into foreclosure. Folks started losing their jobs. The value of properties dropped, and the stock market did things Austin never thought possible. By the time 2009 rolled around, Austin had lost almost all of her savings and hadn't sold a property in over 6 months. Which each, with each month that passed, it became harder and harder to scrap together the money to pay the mortgage on her very expensive Michigan Avenue condominium located in the heart of the Gold Coast. Austin flipped open the armrests between the seats of the Jaguar and set the key inside it. She leaned over, checked the glove compartment to make sure she hadn't left anything, then climbed out and closed the door. She stood in the Jewel grocery store parking lot as mothers dragged their children by the hands and pushed their carts past her. Austin felt like crying as she turned and walked away from the vehicle. After climbing in a cab, she dug her cell phone out of her purse and dialed the 1 800 number of the finance company she was giving her car back to. Yes, this is Austin Greer, Austin said. The car is in the Jewel Foods parking lot on North Clark. The cab driver glanced up at her. She cut him an evil look, then went back to her conversation. But if you don't pick it up by closing, I'm sure I'm sure it'll be towed. Austin disconnected the call and settled back into her seat for the remainder of the ride home. When she walked through the heavy wood and glass doors of the aging but beautiful kept condo building, the ununiformed attendant stood from behind the counter. Miss Greer, this man is here to see you, the attendant said, gesturing to a blond man wearing shorts, topsiders, and a baseball cap. Austin looked Austin hooked a finger over the top of her glasses, pulled him pulled them down a bit. She looked the man over suspiciously. Hi, the man said, extending a hand. I'm Kevin. Is that no, I'm sorry. I'm Ken. I look I came to look at the this way, Kevin, Austin said, cutting the man off before he could put her business out for the entire building to hear. On the elevator ride up to the 23rd floor, Austin kept her eyes down. The elevator door, the elevator doors slid open with the ding of the bell. This way, Austin said, stepping out first. Austin pushed open the heavy wooden door of her 2,000 square foot condo. She walked in first, Ken following her. Her heels clicked loudly across the immaculate hardwood floors and echoed through the huge space. It was practically empty. There was a beautiful Asian authentic dining room set in the dining room and a burnt orange antique leather sofa with claw feet in the living room. So that's it, huh? Ken said, walking over to the sofa, his fists on his hips. That's it, Austin said, hating the fact that she had to sell it. Austin had once been so successful that she would fly all over the country looking for furniture to decorate her new condo. When she found the perfect piece, no matter the cost, she'd buy it and had it shipped home. The sofa was a piece she had found in San Francisco and just had to have. It was in flawless condition. She happily paid $12,000 for it and now had and now had it sitting on Craigslist for a quarter of that. I like it, Ken said, his arms crossed. I want it. Austin was both relieved and disappointed. Once the sofa was gone, all that would be left was the dining room set and her bed. Ken sunk his hands into his pockets. Would you take 50? Would you take 1500? Austin almost choked and thought about smacking the baseball cap off the man's head. If I if I'm not mistaken, it's listed on Craigslist for 3,000. Okay, how about 2,000? Austin stared at the man through her dark glasses. That antique is in perfect condition. Ken smiled. I know. That's what I'm offering. I know. That's why I'm offering 2 grand. Her teeth clenched. Her fists, her hands in fists. Her long nails digging into the flesh of her palms. Austin walked briskly. Ooh, no. Austin walked briskly to her front door and yanked it open. Get out. Miss Greer, I don't mean to offend you, but times are tough for everyone. I know the value of what you're selling, and I also know you want to sell it or you wouldn't have it listed. I'm here right now with $2,000 cash. If you let me, I'll give you this and send someone back to pick up the couch tonight. If you let me. Austin thought about her situation. No one else had called about the sofa. Over the last week, she had relisted it 4 times. She wasn't penniless, but she was damn close. She needed the money. She looked over her glasses at Ken. 2,500, Austin said. Ken smiled. Deal. Whew. Okay, y'all. So we just finished chapter 12. And I gotta say, I like that new character. I like Austin Melrose Greer. They said she is a very, I think, pretty chocolate sister. I think she's because they said she was like a Hershey's Kiss type complexion. So she seems to have a lot of spiff in her. I kind of got a feeling that she could be Kobe's bride to be, being that she is going through, it seems to be a rough time, and they're introducing her like she needs an scapegoat, and Kobe would be perfect. So, I mean, I'm gonna say this, y'all. This may be a little too much, but on some level, do y'all think that Kobe's father could actually be looking out for him? Because he could have like another chance at just living a life that is, I mean, it's a lot, y'all. When you grow up with religion, he could be living a pathway that just doesn't feel burdened with abomination. You know, if he goes by his father's way, because even though he would be living a lie, it just, I don't know. You know, this is only, you know, I'm just throwing things out here. I'm not saying that this would be something that I would jump into life or would want to happen in my hands. But I'm just looking at it from that perspective. Like, you know, it's like his father is making him do this And he states that, he really hasn't been with any men because of the way his father felt about him being gay, since this man that is married. So it's a lot. Yeah, Kareem. Yeah, his father wanted him to marry and to marry a woman. So if, this does pan out, it could be something that he goes through with, and maybe he won't look back. But it seems that he is very in tune with his gay lifestyle. So it's probably going to be quite rough. And, then they talking about it's just going to be a 2-year marriage, and all of this stuff is fake. And, it's in this whole story right here, like this transaction of, I can't, like, this stuff probably really does happen. I know it probably does, people getting married for these type of reasons. And it's a lot. Like, I mean, you can think about it as them being adopted, and maybe the father felt that for him adopting his son, and I'm not saying that this is how he felt. I really do think he loved his children, but it could also be a thing of, you owe me for adopting you. You owe me to be the type of child that I want you to be. That's kind of what it's giving. But I really, through this story, I really do feel like that Kobe's father did love him. So this is just, it's good. Right now, I'm really liking Austin. And I gotta say, I feel like Austin she's my favorite character right now. Even though I do like Sissy and Kobe, but I mean, I really like them. But Austin, I'm really taking to her character. Yeah. Oh, Kareem, you said right, because he want to go to the man's house knowing he's married with kids. Yeah. And see, that's a disaster in itself. Like, I don't, do you think he's in love with him though? Oh, I don't know. He said, because remember he said that he kind of left him alone, but that day where he came over there, he said that he didn't realize how much he missed him. So that's just, that's a lot. And then it's, oh yeah, that's wow. Whew. So y'all, this book is called No One in the World. Right now we are just doing some outlining. It's quite a bit going on. Okay, you said the married man is being selfish. Yeah, and Kareem, he's given me, because one time I remember, like, this guy, he was a friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, sometimes you got to find someone that has something to lose. You got to search for those type of guys. And I was like, what does he mean by that? And this is that situation right here. A guy that has something to lose. He has his family. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like maybe if Kobe gets married to, whatever woman, that could bring more attention towards him, where he couldn't really be with this married man anymore, because he's trying to keep things on the low. And a marriage can really, they want this marriage to be populated. So, his sister wants the marriage to be populated because they have to look like it's real. So I don't know if he wouldn't be able to be with this married guy anymore because it would bring way too much attention. I don't know. Stuff can still be done in the dark though. You said I self-love yourself. You said I think that the false marriage will work. Really, boo? Yeah. And then it may could lead to something more. I've heard that before too. But y'all, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. This is really getting good. Ooh, I think I done spread my chops today though, y'all. My my voice is giving out. This was a lot of fun. Oh, Corinne, you said since his father passed away, he want to be with the married man even more. Yeah. Yeah, that's why he felt that energy of saying, "Oh, I did not know how much I miss you." Like he feels free to be able to see him. You said they both need each other. Great reading. Yeah, you're right, boo. Yeah, I think Kobe and Austin need each other for purposes that are beneficial to them. So maybe it's going to be Austin. She did. Austin just got introduced as a new character. We don't know if Austin is going to be Kobe's bride to be, but I just feel like that is the direction that she could be moving in. Me too, boo, Kareem. I definitely enjoyed this, baby. So y'all, I am going to let y'all go. What a great reading. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Oh, let me check, Kareem. Catherine, hey boo, how are you? Catherine, we just had us a dishy reading. It was quite dishy. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Catherine, I mean, oh, let me see. Corrine, I just got it, boo. Thank you so much. Yes, dear. I tell you, Corrine, that coffee is gonna help me. Good night, boo. Yeah, y'all. I've been hanging in there when it comes to work. Phew. Y'all know how folks get when it gets hot. I gotta say, it's just minds be blown out of control. So you gotta keep yourself together. I sure appreciate you, boo. All right, so y'all, what a reading. And we are far from over with this novel. Whew, it's a lot at stake. Okay, it's a lot of money that Kobe and Sissy are trying to hold on to is only the two of them. Thank God that they have each other to look after, because after dealing with such a tragedy, it's really hard to know who to trust. And that's something that they do have, is each other. And they do at least seem to have, well, we don't know too much about Sissy and maybe her personal life, but at least we know on a level that Kobe just may have someone that is there to help him too. But, it's somebody that has something to lose. What a lot that is going on. So y'all take care, and please let me know in the comments what y'all think about this read so far. And we are dissecting this as we go. So I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. We have our comprehension, okay, going on, you guys, in the morning. I got to stay strong in it. Yes, Sassy. Love you, baby. Thank you for tuning in. And my old ho trolling, you are so welcome, baby. Yes, I'm happy that you enjoyed it. We got us a thing going on now, darling. This is the mini movie, courtesy of my girl, Self Love Yourself. I'll be talking with y'all. I'll be talking with everybody soon. Let's go out with my Feeding the Ducks. It's something about feeding the ducks, though. Thank you, old ho trolling boo. Good night, baby. I hope y'all enjoy y'all night, and please stay hydrated. Bye, everyone.